All right, everybody. Good morning. Happy Tuesday. Hope you guys are doing well. Going to be streaming with the Hawks Nest in about 3 hours from the upload of this video. We're going to talk a little bit about that Cardinals game. Going to talk a little bit about this upcoming Tampa Bay game. So definitely tune in. We're going a couple days early this week because of some um, scheduling issues on Thursday. So definitely check that out. But before we get there, we got to do Youth Watch Tuesday, a weekly series on this channel where we take a look and check in on how the young players are doing on this team. Loosely defined as anybody who is still on a rookie contract or an equivalent, just to get a feel for how the team is doing when it comes to getting good production out of their cheaper players, because younger players are pretty much always going to be cheaper. They're the guys who actually have a reasonable chance of being underpaid. So we're going to take a look at that today. First, though, I want to tell you guys a little bit about Sleeper. Before I go any further into this, I want to tell you a little bit about my friends over at Sleeper. Have you heard about the Sleeper app? It is the best way to experience and connect over sports together with other users. It's a one-stop shop for all your sports needs. Go download the app now. You can celebrate and chat on games in real time with others. You can get the fastest scores, news, and alerts, all that right at your fingertips. And of course, you can play in fantasy leagues and win real money on picks contests. So you can enjoy sports the way they were meant to be, together. Download the #1 sports app today. And when you go, use promo code SBN, that is SBN, and you'll get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in over 25 states. So check out Sleeper today. Don't forget promo code SBN. All right, welcome back. So let's go ahead and just start with the offense here. Nothing for Milroe in this game, which I can't argue with that for sure. I certainly cannot argue with the decision to keep Milroe off the field right now. Hopefully at some point this season he gets involved, but we got to get the basics down before we start getting to that stuff, I guess. Running backs, though, we did get a little bit of action from the running backs. Ken Walker had a productive day, had over 100 yards from scrimmage on, what was it, like 20 touches? Yeah, 20 touches. So I'll live with that. It was inconsistent. It was sporadic. It was a Ken Walker game. It was kind of like the best and worst of Ken Walker, but he was productive. And Charbonnet, he was not nearly as productive, but you see where his value still lies. And this is why I say we need both guys. Ken Walker really struggling with the run blocking stuff, as he typically has, and Charbonnet's very good at that stuff. So he didn't produce very much. He did run for 1 touchdown in this game, and he should have had another. But in terms of actual like efficiency, it's low. But there is still stuff that he can do for this team that is valuable. So we gotta use both guys. Period. This offense will not work if we don't have both those guys. PFF grade did go up for Charbonnet in this game, even though he was not overly productive, by the way. So back above sea level. Nothing for any other running back. I think literally, actually, now that I think about it, because Jacardia Wright did also did not play in this game. But that's it for the running backs. Wide receivers, we all know who that guy is right now. JSN. He had a couple rushes in this game. I think it didn't really go anywhere. I think he maybe had like 1 yard net. But as a receiver, he really turned it on in that second half. Made some big plays, including basically what I would call the game winner. It certainly was the most important play that we had on the game-winning drive. And I think he got up to about 80 yards on the day. He's doing it, man. It's a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing. This is so far beyond what I think any reasonable person could have expected of JSN when we drafted him. And it's unbelievable. It is unbelievable how good he's become. Like, to me, I'm not saying he's there yet because he's got to keep doing it over and over and over again. He is in the process of surpassing guys like Amon-Ra and CeeDee Lamb in terms of what he can do and what he brings to an offense. And he is starting to... I don't think he's as good as the guys like Jamar Chase and Justin Jefferson, but he's starting to kind of settle in below that general group. So every day he is producing big, 90 plus PFF grade. Really remarkable. Playing mostly outside by a pretty wide margin. Torrey Horton had a 12-yard catch, but otherwise was quiet. Although I do want to say with Horton, the thing to remember, what he does as a punt returner, even on a day where he doesn't have a big punt return, is very valuable. He seems very comfortable running up and catching those punts. So even on a day where he doesn't produce a lot, I'm still noticing what he is bringing to this team. Really liking where that's going. Jake Bobo, first catch of the season, 17 yards. Did seem to play pretty effectively. There's not a ton to read into it, but he's got a skin on the wall now. And then we get to our tight ends, and this was a pretty good game for both tight ends. They both got involved in the game plan more than the first 3 games. Barner caught a touchdown, had 3 catches in this game. PFF grade continues to be very good. Arroyo starting to dig himself out of, well, he's starting to swim up. Let's put it that way. He's not at sea level yet, but he's almost there. And he did actually make a big play down the field in this game for the first time, so we're getting somewhere. We are getting somewhere with this tight end heavy offense. If you include Sawbird, who does have a catch as well, the tight ends in this offense have now combined for, I think, 15 catches. That's headed in the right direction. Little more in line with what I would have expected this year. All right. Offensive line, I don't think it was a great day overall for the offensive line. Cross played fine, although it was probably his worst game of the season. Zabel continues to just kind of hang around league average, like replacement level, and I think that's okay for where Zabel should be right now. Remember, he is playing kind of a new position for him. It is his rookie season. I'm not going to go too far with it. So that's fine. Sundell, slightly below replacement level, but I wasn't expecting anything crazy from him. So I think he allowed I think he's allowed 1 pressure in each game this season, which I can live with that. The expectations for Sundell shouldn't be that high. He's a limited player who's a good scheme fit, and you got to ride that. Bradford, they're bringing out the memes again, guys. That's really all I can say. They're bringing out the stupid memes. And it's gotten annoying because the offseason they talked him up. And it feels like every offseason we have somebody that the team talks up and then they don't do anything in the regular season. And this year, I guess it's Anthony Bradford's turn in the barrel. Now, I don't know how bad he actually played in that Cardinals game. It seemed, I didn't think it was as viscerally bad as Pro Football Focus did, but there are problems, and we're getting to the point where they can't be fixed because this is his 3rd year in the NFL. So you can see that even though he's playing right guard, he is probably the leakiest element of this offensive line right now. And right guard should be the position that has the lowest degree of difficulty to be effective. Zabel has allowed 1 more pressure than him. That's it. Everybody else on the offensive line except maybe Lucas. And I don't even think Lucas. And Lucas is playing tackle. It's understandable why he would be allowing pressures. Bradford allowing pressures at right guard, this is becoming untenable. Oluwatimi didn't play, so there's nothing new there, but you can definitely kind of get the sense here that some of the experiments that the Seahawks tried on the offensive line, they're not a complete disaster, but I don't know if they're working out. And we got to give this time, but we're running out. All right, swinging over to the defense now. Murphy, quiet game for him. I still think he's playing effectively. He's still having his overall value being muted by playing out of position so much. Like, think about it like this. Think about how effective Murphy has been this year. All the pressures he's getting, all the plays he's making. We're watching these games. We know how good Murphy has been. His PFF grade isn't even 70. And I think a big reason why is because he's playing a significant chunk of his snaps in a role that he's not suited to. And it seems like a fix that should be doable, and the team has not yet done it. And I understand that maybe they don't want to mess up a good thing. The defense is playing well, but something tells me you're not getting full mileage out of I don't know if he's a star yet, but he is certainly on his way to becoming a star defensive tackle because he's playing out of position so much. Mike Morris played a little bit in this game, not really much to report. PFF grade still very good, but it's a small sample size. And then we got the linebacker situation, which I've already spoken about at length. Tyrese Knight, 5 tackles, including 1 for loss. PFF grade now about a 65, which is roughly in line with what he had last year. And if the PFF grade is to be trusted, which I'm not saying it is, I think that PFF has many misunderstandings when it comes to linebacker play. I think they really struggle with that, but I do kind of get the sense that they've got the right idea here personally. So we got that, and then Drake Thomas, he also had 5 tackles. He also had a tackle for loss in this game. He did have a pass breakup, but his PFF grade was terrible. So Drake Thomas obviously played way more than Knight in this game, and I understand that they're probably doing some stuff with Knight they weren't planning to do because of the injury he had or the medical issue he had this offseason. Whatever. I'm hoping that it clears up soon. I'm not a big fan of rotating linebackers. There are players, there are position groups in the NFL that you want to be rotating. I don't think linebacker, off-ball linebacker is really one of them. So I want something to be made clear here. All right, edge rusher. Let's take a look at edge rusher here. Again, no sacks from this group, which I know that people are impatient for that, but both guys are still playing pretty well. Mafe is providing a lot of quick pressure. Mafe is playing effective all-around football. PFF reflects that. Same with Derek Hall. Derek Hall has been very, very effective as an edge rusher. There just hasn't been a sack yet, but if he continues to play the way he's playing, it'll come. Picked up like 4 tackles in this game, 69.2 PFF grade. Boye Mafe above a 72. I still like what I see there. Cornerback. We all know what's going on with Reek Woolen. It wasn't a terrible game for him statistically. He did have a couple of tackles. He only allowed 1 completion in theory, but he also got whistled for a couple of penalties. Actually, I think 3 of them. So his PFF grade continues to be, he's basically turning into like Anthony Bradford for the defense. And I know that's a crazy thing to say, but according to PFF, it is true. And I don't know if he's that bad, but you're kind of seeing the same stuff where his bad stuff is so bad, it's hard to even remember the good stuff. Witherspoon racked up like 8, 9 tackles in this game, putting up big numbers. Did have his first pass breakup of the season. Now, he got lit up in coverage a lot in this game. He gave up 2 touchdowns. He gave up like 8 completions, but I'm going to say it again. I don't really think he did anything wrong in that game. Like, watching that game, you can't tell me that he's out there playing terrible and that's why he's getting beat. He's getting beat because that's what happens sometimes, and the other team's making great plays. So I don't feel like that Devin Witherspoon played poorly. I think poor things just happened to him, if that makes sense. Nehemiah Pritchett, not much here. He did pick up a tackle on special teams, but not really playing right now. Kobe Bryant had the pick, of course, which we all know what happened, but he did have the pick. PFF grade was still really bad this week. I think tackling was an issue. He actually had 0 tackles in this game, according to the stat keepers. And that's it, because Emin Ward didn't play. So that's your Youth Watch Tuesday. Let me know what you guys think. It's a pretty good week, right? Not necessarily any super standout performances. Everybody just kind of chugging along. JSN's probably the closest thing you got to a standout performance. And it was still probably the least production he's had this season, right? So it's like, he's setting the bar too high, I guess. All right. See you guys later. Streaming with the Hawks Nest in a few hours. Go Hawks. More stuff coming soon. And, yeah, see you guys soon.